Hi everyone, this is Julie Stark with On Your Left Fitness and Timing, and I'm here with Steve Landau from Everyone Runs, and this is our newest Embrace Local, Embrace Your Inner Athlete interview, and we have Troy Jacobson here with us as well as our interviewee. So Troy, you and I go back to 2009. That's when we first met, and I was putting on this very unique eclectic triathlon out at Pinal Air Park. And you came out and supported that race. And it, by all means, it was not a professional race. I was still learning, and you were so encouraging and so complimentary. It just really showed me what an amazing athlete, person, and coach you really are. So we've kind of fostered that relationship with you throughout the years, and you've supported me in other endeavors as well. Um, your background, you were a former pro triathlete, and you've done a sub 9 hour Ironman in Kona, which, ooh, yay. And you were the official coach for Ironman from 2010 to 2012. And you were the senior national director for endurance training for Lifetime Fitness up until about 2018, I believe. You've been a multi-sport coach since 1992, and you're an innovator. You are the creator of the Spinnerals DVDs, which has pretty much paved the way for the Zwift and all these other, other cycling things out there. But I also know that you've done some podcasts, and the reason that popped in my mind is because I was cleaning out my office, and the other day I found this CD from when I was training to do my very first Ironman. I was doing Vineman in California, and this is the Eat, Drink, and Go Fast podcast on how to eat and train.
Forgot about that one.
I loved this. I listened to this in my car constantly. It's just reminding me how to do stuff. But I also know you are an avid mountain biker. I've watched you compete as a solo rider out of the 24 year after year. And I've seen you running around Tucson many times. So thank you for being here. And we would just like to touch on a few things with you today.
Sure. Thanks for having me.
You're welcome. Thank you, Troy, for being with us. In our EmbRaceTucson, Embrace Your Inner Athlete series, we're trying to connect Tucsonans with the community just to allow them to hear from other people on how they're coping in this new abnormal, as Julie and I call it. So tell us a little bit about how things have changed for you, both physically and mentally, and the people that you work with.
Well, that's a good question. So from an athletic, well, let me start off. So I do work with some athletes still. I stay involved in the endurance sports community by working with some athletes, but now I'm an executive coach and consultant. So I work with CEOs in this market for a group called Vistage Worldwide. We have peer advisory. So I can tell you that obviously from a business perspective, it's really challenging, and these folks are having a lot of difficulties around that. But it's interesting, in my group, we talk about physical fitness and the importance of staying healthy and personal wellness and getting enough sleep and eating well, especially during times of stress. So I just wanted to put that in there. I think it's important everybody maintains that physical fitness component in their life, and they look at taking good care of themselves and maybe elevating that to the next level because of all the emotional stress we're going through with COVID-19. Personally, I've stayed active. Getting outside is a blessing. I love to, social isolation for me is going out on a bike ride or going out on a run. I love camping. I own some property out in the desert, so I like to go out there every weekend, either with my daughters or by myself. So the ultimate in social isolation, but maintaining activity, not necessarily at a super high intensity, because that can break down your system if you work out at a high intensity, but just lower intensity, even going for a walk instead of a run. I've been doing that. Not that I have any running races scheduled at the moment, but just maintaining that level of activity where I know when everything breaks and things get back to somewhat normal, then, we can resume a higher level of activity and so forth. So I guess that was a long answer to a short question. Things haven't changed a whole lot because of our proximity to being outdoors, wide open spaces. I think it's, you can maintain a fairly active lifestyle.
Have you found, due to this social distancing and trying to, you know, stay healthy, are you going back to any of your old Spinnerable DVDs?
That's a great question. So the answer is no, because we live in Tucson and it's so easy to just go outside and take my mountain bike and, go hit somewhere. But I will say this, it's really interesting. Spinnerbles has seen a little bit of a resurgence. We have a subscription component so you can stream all the workouts. And it's interesting. People are really, I've seen my membership pop up because a lot of people are staying indoors. Certain parts of the country, obviously the coast, where quarantining, there's high population density and quarantining, people are staying indoors and don't go anywhere. They're leveraging the Spinnerable series. So that's really interesting. I'm hearing a lot of feedback. So it's kind of gratifying because the series started 20 years ago and now, people are still doing those videos. So that's kind of cool.
It's still
My favorite one is bending crank arms, which is an older one,
Oh,
but
yeah.
I like it because I can, like, in 50 minutes, I can get in a hard workout, and I enjoy seeing Iron Michael Urquhart in that video. It cracks me up every time because honestly, he was my first, like, almost like a coach, to help me get through. And so seeing him on there and you giving him a hard time is even more motivation.
Yeah, that was great. That was Spinnerals 19.0, I think. We shot that at a climbing gym out in Baltimore.
Yes.
Yeah, that's cool.
Troy, what advice would you have to the general public right now how to stay sane and stay fit too at the same time, mentally, physically?
Yeah, I think it's along the same lines as I said, just to maintain some level of activity, getting outdoors as much as you can, obviously social distancing. It's amazing how busy the pathways are, the loop, and obviously people need to be responsible with that, but getting out in the sunshine and just enjoying nature. People are sort of slowing down now because they're not working as much or whatever is going on in their lives, and they're just more careful. But I see a lot of people really engaging in physical activity. And for competitive athletes, I think the key again is just to maintain fitness. I know a lot of races have been canceled, but to have that, I guess, envision what your goals could be later on in the season, I think, when races come back online, and to keep yourself in that mode where you're constantly preparing, but maybe not, if you're a serious athlete, you're training according to a periodized schedule and you're focused on a key event, maybe back off on that intensity for a little bit and focus more on your aerobic base development, technique development, kind of keeping it lower intensity until you know when your race date's going to happen, and then you can get back into that really structured program.
Yeah, no reason to beat yourself up right now.
No, absolutely not. No, it's
This is
counterintuitive.
a good time to let the body get fresh.
Yep. Yeah. Yeah. For sure.
Julie, any questions you'd like to ask Troy?
No, I think, Troy, you hit the nail on the head. We all just need to find ways to reduce the intensity, but still stay active and healthy and get ready for that periodization training. I know I'm doing that as well. I don't have a whole lot going on in the race scene. Not that I got to race a whole lot anymore anyway, but I did appreciate those few weekends a year that I did get to race, that I wasn't timing another race. So I'm looking forward to the fall. I'm hoping some things come about. We'll see what goes on, but thank you, Troy.
I have one more
Thank you.
question for Troy.
Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
Thought of that. In your opinion, Troy, what do you see as the future of endurance sports events going forward?
That's a great question. I think this pandemic is going to change a lot of things in our normal everyday lives. What do I see? That's a really good question. I'd have to think about that one. But my hope is it doesn't change people's desire to go out there and challenge themselves and to take on challenging events, whether it's a 5K and go for a PR or just to finish, or it's 24-hour mountain bike racing. I feel like there's going to be pent up demand for things that are fulfilling and gratifying. So I feel like a lot of people who might not be engaged in endurance sports might look at endurance sports as a way to fill their cup with something else. So my hope is nothing really changes in that regard. I think the way maybe the way the setup is at events and any race production company is going to have to deal with or look into how you keep people separated to some degree and safety concerns around that. But my hope is people still go out and train and race.
Ours too, right, Julie?
Yes.
Yeah, for sure.
Well, thank you, Troy, and thank you for embracing Tucson and all the local athletes. It's very much appreciated, and we look forward to seeing you again real soon.
All right. Thank you for having me. Have a great day.